Second consecutive Women's Olympic football tournament. South Africa having made their debut in London 4 years ago. So Bruna's won the toss. South Africa will have the kickoff in this tie. This is the South African starting 11. Roxanne Barker maintains her place in goal. Only one change there from the side that lost 2-0 to China on match day 2. That's Leandra Smeeder makes her way into the starting lineup. Sacrificed is Ramalepe, who drops down to the bench. Amanda Dlamini, also somebody who has been very influential over the years, a former captain of the side and particularly attacking player. Vera Pauw, the Dutch-born coach, on the left. Desiree Ellis, the former Banyana Banyana captain. Her assistant sits to Vera Pauw's left. Now, this is the Brazilian lineup, the Canarinhas lineup as such. 7 changes from the side that humiliated Sweden 5-0 in their second group match. Barbara, Fabiana, Rafael, Formiga, Marta, Christiane, Beatriz, all regular starters are rested for today's tie. The likes of Eileen, Poliana, Bruna, Raquel Fernandes, all being given opportunities by Vajao, the Brazilian women's coach, general coordinator of the host nation, preparing to give Stéphanie Frappart the signal to get us underway. We are officially underway in Manaus at the Amazonia Arena. Over 44,000 people have come to the venue to enjoy the action, as Brazil's women have been cheered on by their rather special display in the tournament so far. 2 games, 2 convincing victories, 8 goals in that period. Disappointingly for South Africa, despite some enterprising play, have failed to convert any of their chances and lost by an error to Sweden on opening day 1-0. And then after having a chance to score, conceded a first goal to China and later a second in match day 2. Brazil on the attack here and looking for any one of 3 to have a chance. In the end, it's a run from deep. Debinha comes in. Recently moved to China. Now turning out for Dalian. Roxanne Barker maintaining her place in goal for South Africa. She too recently opted out of Iceland. She's secured a 1-year contract at Heerenveen in the Netherlands for this coming year. Here's Noko Matlo, one of South Africa's greatest ever goal scorers and the only South African player, male or female, to win African Player of the Year award back in 2008 after her sensational run in the African Women's Championships, in which she scored 6 goals, ended as top goal scorer, helped South Africa to the final that year. Bruna, she's just delighted to be back playing, Bruna, after missing out the Women's World Cup last year following an anterior cruciate ligament tear in her knee. Smeeder just knocks this ball out of play on the near side. Debinha, just wonderfully quick movement from Andressa, a new wunderkind of women's soccer in Brazil. Here's Makabane to Refilejane. Better by Brazil. Andressa Alves, gifted left-footed player. When she's got a little time on the ball, has the ability to feed in inch-perfect crosses. It's ball forward. Monica keeps it down, and Brazil back in possession. Taissa, one of 4 players, maintain their place in the Brazilian starting lineup from the side that humbled Sweden. Lifted over the top by Erika. On the far side, Andressa Alves. She possesses an abundance of skill, but works her way back to her teammate Erika. This is just a little too strong, so you wonder about the cohesion that we're going to find on the pitch for Brazil when you consider that 7 players are rested, 7 regular starters. And indeed, without the talismanic Christiane or Marta, There is Marta, squad captain, on the big screen, and acknowledges the fans that have bought tickets to watch her play. And one wonders if there might just be an opportunity to see Marta as this match progresses, in deference to the fans. Brazil with the first chance here from the set piece. Raquel Fernandes feeds in, Van Beek scoops it away. South African captain Devinha wants to leave it for Poliana, today's starting right back, stepping in for Fabiana, the regular right back. Andressa put herself in space, but just battled to control it on the bounce. Now playing in the United States at Houston Dash. If you want to pick out a star for the future, Andressa is one to watch. She represented Brazil at under-17 and under-20 level, and then went on to represent Brazil at full international level while she was still eligible to play in the under-17 team. Her debut at 17. Aline, her first appearance at this tournament. Here's Erika, veteran now of 3 Olympic Games. At 28, she first turned out in Beijing in China 8 years ago. A little chase on here. Smida gets the touch, but not a convincing one. Devinha threatens to come away with it. Malherbe, based in the United States at Texas A&M. Malherbe with the clearance, but again taken forward. Tamires. Here's Erika. It's again wide to Andressa. Oh, that's a delightful pass, brilliantly played, and a real opportunity for Brazil. Andressa picking out Andressa Alves, who couldn't find the finish. And that's just an illustration of some of the scintillating play that we've seen from Brazil so far. Speaking of scintillating play, this young lady, Timi Kgatlana, who threatened to break away, only 20 years old, and another wonderful talent for the future in South Africa. Ball on the far side. There's the long-time wunderkind of South African football. Look at that for a pass through and control by Andressa Alves. Gets the shot away, but fails to get much power behind it. Roxanne Barker just smothers the ball. 25-year-old goalkeeper who played in London 4 years ago. Tyser. A touch forward. Here's Erika. Again, the running. This is where South Africa really need to be well aware. Jane, the poor touch on the far side. Her first trip to Brazil. She's nicknamed Fifi, Erifili Jane. Her first trip to Brazil, she was inspired to start calling herself Fifinho. Not all her teammates, however, continued with that trend. And the rest of shots deflected away. Oh, the flowing foot movement from Brazil. Again, superb. Van Beek steers it away, but doesn't clear. This time does. Janine Van Beek. Your uncle, Mossie Steyn, actually a former professional player in South Africa as well. In fact, used to play against her former coach, Joseph Nkonza, who took South Africa to the London Olympic Games 4 years ago. Van Beek with a challenge, ball still in play, and Brazil still have an advantage pushing forward. Erika trying to slip it through for Tamires. The left back on a charging run, but can't find the finish with a weaker right boot. Barker picks up the harmless looking ball through. Looking for Supasenwe. Now 22 years old, Jermaine Supasenwe, shot to prominence when she almost single-handedly guided South Africa to the 17 World Cup. back in 2010. Trinidad and Tobago the competition was. Van Wyk clears it only as far as Makabane, deflects off her. Malherbe recovers. Jane now back towards Malherbe. Little space opening up. South Africa flowing movement now. Lovely through ball. Little tug on the jersey, but a real opportunity for the opening score. Aleen's come out, blocked the ball, may have hurt herself in the process. But South Africa showing they've got the ability to counter in superb fashion. Wonderful flowing movements. And a real fright for the host nation. The stage certainly set for South Africa's biggest test of this women's Olympic football tournament. Aleen's back on her feet, but Tamirish put that ball out of play. A little touch back from Linda Mutlalo. And then looking to set it up. Thembi Kgatlana. Only called up late into the squad. Oh, I think it's just the tip of her boot has caught the forehead of Aleen. So Stephanie Frappart will allow medical attention to finish up. And as they leave, Aleen just holding on to her nose. So play to get back underway from the throw in on the near side. Over the top. Aleen is fine. Bowls it out to Bruna. Actually made her Olympic debut, did Bruna, against African opposition. She made her debut against Cameroon at the London Olympic Games. Smeared up. Ball forward off the chest. Tamirish marching forward. Van Wyk clears this ball away. She's become a talismanic figure of her own as Janine Van Wyk, not only for her performances on the field, but indeed the effort that she's put into promoting women's football in South Africa. She started her own schools league. Started with 7 schools and grew to over 100 within a very short space of time. Just proving how hungry youngsters were to get involved in the women's game. Janine Van Wyk, like many of her teammates growing up, had to play with boys and then young men before finding an outfit where she could play with fellow females. There's Bruna. Down the near side. Smeared again. This ball forward, asking Kgatlana to bring this ball under control. Tamirish doesn't clear. Smeared. She's got some skill. And a ball that is just too far ahead of Mutlalo. Mutlalo only recently starting to come into her own, and only recently becoming a member of the South African senior side. And also still only 18 years old. Ball over the top. Onside as well. Lovely ball through. Raquel Fernandes. And Smith has done enough to win possession, but then she's passed it back to her opponent. Referee goes down in a little collision with Makabane. Ball in over the top, and the header is easy for Barker to claim. Poliana joining the attacking line. Andressa was there. Terbinha getting involved with virtually every attack as well. Erica trying to thread it through. Tamirish brings it under control, but she is put under pressure here from Kgatlana. Only call up late after the injury to Shirin Nwanya. Siposenwe possesses skill and abundance, plays in the United States. And stolen here, Malherbe also playing in the United States. Lets it go, and Andressa Alves nearly coming away with possession. Andressa Alves, her first touch is superb. So, Vera Pauw and Desiree Ellis, the brains trust for Banyana Banyana. Not playing in their traditional colours, but rather the colours of Team South Africa. So too for various nations at multi-sport events, especially the Olympic Games. Tamir. Erika. Little cutback. Debinha. Quick turn of pace. The 1-2 didn't quite work, but Tamir still sees Erika Debinha in a decent position. Erika drops back to try to recover. It's Taiso picks up possession here. Lovely through ball, and again Barker's come out, makes the save. Critical touch by Barker, uses her height as a good advantage. Nearly 6 foot tall is Roxanne Barker. Tallest player in the squad. It's a very short South African squad overall in comparison to many women's international sides. Just 5'6" average height. Siposenwe, one of the taller outfield players at 5'6". Back to Jane. Kalane. Over the top it goes. Ojao, up on the big screen. Acknowledged by the fans who want to see further Brazilian success, who want to see Brazil close out the group stages with another convincing victory before they march on in the quarter-finals. Barker brings it under control. So South Africa aiming for a victory. And they would like nothing more than to close out their tournament with a win. China and Sweden playing a match concurrent to this. And the victor in that tie set to advance to the quarterfinals with Brazil. The draw would see both China and Sweden finish above South Africa, but South Africa could still finish in 3rd place above either China or Sweden, whichever side loses out should there be a result in that match. Now, Muthlane pushing into an advanced position. Decent little delivery from Motlhalo. Aline being tested, but the ball eventually nodded back to her. Here's Monica, the only defender in this Brazilian side who's found a goal so far at this championship. Raquel Fernandes. Andressa Alves back to Poliana. Recently signed for Houston Dash in the United States. Tamir. Slow, deliberate play now from Brazil. Just a possession game for a moment, just to regather, regroup. And they've got the ability to really turn on the pressure when they can. And when they want to, they can shift it up a gear. Andressa. A lovely round the outside by Debinha. Andressa again, back to Debinha. These two combining nicely. Lovely interception, though. Very well read by Makwane. And away South Africa threatened to go. Jane goes on the overlap. This is better, far better. Motlhalo and Kgatlana have showed some youthful exuberance. Motlhalo on the chase here, and a collision with the goalkeeper who gathers first. The 18-year-old Motlhalo showing a desire, real desire to get on the end of that ball. Van Veek, not quite tall enough to get all of it, but enough to scoop it back towards Barker. Reached her first. Here's Chane. Malabra's on her inside. Tondo Vilarazi picked up on a ball for just a moment. Through it goes, a little too strong, but there's players gathering in the centre, most notably the tall Andressa Alves in the pocket now. Raquel Fernandes slides it across towards Erica. Erica goes with a left-footed effort. Ricochets off the South African wall now. Bruna recovers. Taisa brings it out to the near side. De Binha is dispossessed by Smira. Better work. Supasenwe comes to fetch on the near side. And Supasenwe spotting a little space on the far side. Bruna read it nicely and denies South Africa possession inside Brazilian territory. To the far side, Raquel deflects off Van Veek's leg. And the follow-up effort is poor. Enough of a touch, though, to see it out for the corner. 20 minutes gone. Goalless it remains between South Africa and Brazil. South Africa have defended stoically, certainly in the opening halves of all their matches. And really, I feel all that is lacking has been regular international experience for South Africa. They want to redeem themselves after those disappointing defeats in their first two group stages. That header goes wide and high. Nowhere near any of the South African players. Bruna, the oldest player in the Brazilian lineup. Bruna, where's the captain's armband? Well, the oldest player in the squad for Brazil is the exceptional Formiga. At 38, she's still going strong and playing in her 6th consecutive Olympic Games. Left behind, this is so good from Brazil. Just a little too short on the touch by Andressa Alves. South African defence caught just a little unawares. De Binha again trying to pressurise Chane on the far side. And South African ball. Chane back to Vilagazi. Katlana, oh, lovely, but not allowed by an ever-aware Tamir's to get back in possession. And Tamir's and Monica between them just read that play perfectly, and Brazil back in possession. A sniff for South Africa, but snuffed by Brazil. Andressa Alves, elegant, with just stunning footwork. She captivates, she electrifies. And this lady, Matlo, used to do exactly that for South Africa when she played in attack. She's a defender with 63 international goals now. And her goal-scoring record, 55 of them came when she was playing in a striking role, but converted later on in her career. Matlo, not the tallest player, but she gives everything when she's out on the pitch. From the corner, Andressa Alves, big delivery. Barker just parries it and then puts it in space. A little chase on here. Mutalo staring down Tamir's. Malherbe didn't read it, but Andressa did. Look at Matlo, still going strong. Fouled as she got past Raquel, who offers to help her to her feet. Stephanie Frappard says that's your final warning. Raquel Fernandes, the 25-year-old. has been sufficiently chastised, she believed. Part of the side that finished first at the Ecuadorian Championship, Senior Championships 2 years ago. Six-time Copa America champions, Brazil, but they've never won Olympic gold. They've never won the FIFA Women's World Cup. Canarinhas at home will not necessarily be expecting the gold medal, but they'll be working hard for it. Damir's palmed away by Barca. The left back with a fine foray forward. Finds a fierce shot, goal bound. Got away from Emarca, and Barca taking no chances. Parries it over the crossbar. Brazil denied, but they've got the corner. Barca under this one. Enormous drop kick upfield and a real chase on here. Aline, though, has read it nicely and come to the edge of her area. Chip away by Erica. Mutlalo. That was the effort by Tamirs a short while ago. Barca tested. But that's the left back who's got herself up into that attacking position. Better by South Africa, probing through the middle, and what was that? Caught between a chance to take a shot. Well, that's Mutlalo, but it was Makabane who took the effort. There's Makabane, Omelo Makabane. She looked like she was partway in, looking to take the long-range shot on the run, and then decided she was going to try to pass it to a teammate. Indecision, it seems. Makabane dropping back into a position, just sitting deeper, and works it away. Smida, she's doing a fine job in denying Brazil down the near side. But Brazil, tenacious as ever, look to get on the end of it. Look at the footwork that Andressa Alves possesses, being applauded by the crowd. The referee Frappard says impeding Matlo is the reason I'm penalising you. Just holding on to the jersey of Noko Matlo. Matlo is deceptively quick, very quick off the mark. She studied road management, would you believe, Noko Matlo, at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa's largest city. There is Matlo, tough as nails and consummate professional. She makes the error in that return ball. I think caught a little unawares by her own teammate Smida, who took the throw fairly quickly while she was focused on another area of the pitch. Here's Taisa. Andressa. Tamirs again joining the attacking line. A buccaneering run from the fullback. Andressa put in space now. Malherbe trying to close it down. Back with Taisa. The 27-year-old slides it through. The left back again gets a shot. It's on target, but it's tame. And Barker gets to pull that one down. Well, Tamirs is having a fantastic game yet again. She's been in Denmark for the last year and a bit. Only made her international debut in 2013, but she's really shot to prominence. Tamirs, unlike many of her teammates, is fluent in English, so she'll be wanting to listen in on the South African instructions. What a beautifully timed run through the middle again. Brazil flowing football. Raquel Fernandes up against Matlo. In the pocket, Andressa looking to create space. Here's the runner. It's Erica. Slides it out to Poliana on the far side. Jane got the touch, didn't get the clearance. Well, Brazil, they're putting in the entertaining play, but they're not getting the reward just yet. Is there reward to be had? Too high, too wide. Raquel Fernandes tosses her head back. It's polite applause from the interested crowd. Taisa wanted it. Raquel Fernandes came in and hit it just over. But a good attacking passage of play. Tamirs has been one of the standout players. She keeps joining the attacking line and it's causing all sorts of problems for the South African defence currently. Eileen back with Bruna, who's had very little to do overall. And what Brazil have also done very well is keep the very threatening Jermaine Supisenwe quiet. She's an instinctive player. Now, Vilarazi to Supisenwe. Ability to produce magic. Now this is far from magical. Jermaine Supisenwe. Superb record of scoring goals for South Africa in qualifying campaigns. Ball in over the top. Vilarazi lets it go. Jane will march out to collect under no real pressure. Andressa Alves the closest to her. Speaking of closest, to give you an idea of just the size of Brazil, it's the 5th largest country in the world. By area, that is. On the bench behind Bajao, there's a bench that includes Marta, just to the right of the screen. She is a national hero, 5-time World Player of the Year. She's never been able to guide Brazil to the World Cup or Olympic title, but this could be her chance. She and Christiane have been outstanding. Rafaela inspired. Fabiana superb. Beatriz accomplished. And completely absorbing is Christiane. She's got electrifying pace still in her 4th Olympic Games. And has scored more goals than any other player in the history of the Olympic football tournament. She's currently on 14. That'll be a South African free kick. Well, Brazil have been putting the pressure on and South Africa have been holding firm. Better here. Brazil over the top. Barker will claim. Brazil again, through Andressa. Surge of pace, and tried to play that back beyond Roxanne Barker. Andressa just not getting her touches right tonight, but the reigning Young Player of the Year in the North American Women's Soccer League. And it gives you an idea of the high regard that she's held in. She plays in the country and against players who are regulars as part of Team USA, the reigning world and Olympic champions. Matlo. And the rest are sitting very deep. This is not a usual position. Likes to play in a more advanced position. There's Monica. Andressa. Tamir just joining the line. They've completely changed their formation in Brazil. That'll be a goal kick. Smira just doing enough to disrupt Tamir. Said her life changed after the birth of her son Bernardo back in 2009. Became a young mother with her husband Cesar. But in recent years has been focusing on football. 10 minutes to go to half-time. And that contract to play in Denmark has also just given her a little extra inspiration. Through here for Andressa. Back to Erika, long range and wide. There are options building, but there's frustration growing amongst the expectant fans. Well, she thought she'd got away with it. Andressa Alves being brought back by the referee. Born in São Paulo. She didn't do anything wrong, but Andressa's interference allowed her to get away with possession. The first female footballer from Brazil to play for Barcelona is Andressa Alves. Mutlalo. Supasenwe. Space. Tried to cross rather than shoot. The follow-up effort by Janet. Still alive for South Africa. Mutlalo looks for turn. Has got the ability to get past a few, but Tamir just nips the attack in the bud. Andressa Alves changes direction so effortlessly. And this is why she was picked up by Barcelona earlier this year. Tamir. Raquel Fernandes. Erika again. Devinha. She's just switching angles all the time, Devinha. Poliana joining the line. Tamir's joining the line. Probably wondering, the majority of these fans, how long South Africa can hold on for. Brazil a bit dominant. And South Africa have defended stoically. Another chance is their reward off the woodworking away. Jani hacks away the clearance. Oh, that is painful. Straight away, referee stops play. Well, this was the effort a moment ago. Off the woodworking away. Jani then with a big clearance. Debinha it was with a shot. But Bruna has collected a caution, if nothing else. Oh, that looked dangerous to me. Motlhalo is a diminutive figure. She is not by any stretch of the imagination physically imposing. Really not a threat. Bruna didn't want to let her pass. And that looked to be more than just a body check. That looked to be an extended elbow. South Africa 0, Brazil 0, and the atmosphere is still absolutely electric. And it's been for a large part a breathtaking display by Brazil. And South Africa has been the odd moment of nerves for coach Vera Pauw and her assistant Israelis. But there's still plenty that they can feel very proud of. Teams like New Zealand, teams like South Africa. One of the biggest downfalls is the genuine lack of international game time. South Africa in a year sometimes only play as many matches as the United States play in a month. That gives you an idea. You need that regular international experience. Mokwane. Smeda's made a good run, but that ball just tucked in behind her. Had to check her run. Still has options. Supasenwe trying to get on the end of this, and again scooped away. Klo hasn't managed to stop this one. Van Wyk recovers before Debinha applies any pressure. That's too strong. Again, Brazil have options. They're just trying to decide which option they might take. Too strong by Andressa. Marta watching on. Wild applause every time she appears on the big screen. An enormous figure in Brazil. Marta genuinely is a superstar. And there have been comparisons made at this tournament with the disappointment of the men's side failing to score a goal in 2 games, and with the success of the women's team scoring 8 in 2 games. As to who the best number 10 is, bear in mind Neymar Jr. and Marta both wear the number 10 jersey for Brazil. Van Wyk to Motlhalo. Nearly an error, nearly an error. Van Wyk gets the call in her favour here. Bit of a swinging arm from Andressa as well. Van Wyk copped it on the shin. Looking to start a Mexican wave. There's not a great deal of follow-up from those around the few who started, but a yellow card has come out eventually. The referee taking her time to first check on the well-being of Van Veek, and then Andressa being cautioned. So 2 yellow cards in the last 5 minutes for Brazil. Bruna and then Andressa. Monica. Tamirs again joining the line. This is when Brazil have looked at their dangerous. They're most dangerous. Chane. Super Semwe as we hit the 45-minute mark. Ball in behind the defensive line. Chane needed to try to bring it down. Only a minute of time has been added on, but Chane wanting to get on the end of that, failed to bring it down. Just a little too far ahead of her. It was a good-looking ball played in over the top by Smida. And behind the defensive line. Monica and Bruna left behind. Bruna now steers it out to Poliana. Raquel Fernandes calling for it. It was a big money move that she earned to go to Changchun in China. That'll be a free kick to Brazil. Called by the assistant on the far side, Yolanda Parga. Debinha suffering the foul. The culprit, Refile Jane. Barker gets underneath this one, and with Barker making the final take, looks to bowl the ball down the field of play, asking teammates to chase, but half-time has been called by the French referee. 0-0 it is between the host nation Brazil and their opponents South Africa. It's been Brazil dominant by a significant margin for much of this game, and South Africa defending brilliantly at times, stoically at others, denied Brazil at every juncture, much to the frustration of the expectant crowd, who expected to see more of the same, with the side coming into it 8 goals in 2 matches.